micro businesses under 10 employees. They don't have a CRM. They're using Excel. They're using Outlook. They're using email.
Yeah.
Right? So we're CRM. And there's some great CRMs out there like HubSpot.
HubSpot,
HubSpot comes to mind.
Salesforce.
Yeah.
Salesforce is okay. I really like.
Salesforce is up here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love HubSpot though. I do really
Okay.
like it.
And HubSpot is probably our closest competitor,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit overwhelming
Hmm.
for a smaller
I
business.
agree with you. I agree with you.
It's too much. It's really too much.
Yeah.
Um,
Lot of onboarding. When I first did it, I had multiple calls. I still didn't understand it. It's definitely overwhelming in the beginning. I'll give you
right.
that for sure.
So we want to bring, not necessarily, it's more of a personal CRM, but also a professional because we just want to bring clients in to start that engagement.
Mm-hmm.
We have CRMs and our competitors also what we call closed networking groups.
Okay.
The most famous closed networking group right now is called BNI. Stands for Business Networks International.
Okay.
Closed networking group is a group where you are the only profession of its type. And one electrician, one AC company, one attorney, one realtor, one mortgage broker, probate attorney, a real estate attorney, a personal injury attorney, and all those people in one group get to learn each other's businesses. They get to build relationships, and they get to refer business to each other.
That's cool. I really like that. That's really cool.
And this is where I learned
Hmm.
the power of networking and building relationships. So, BNI is the largest one.
Okay.
But Chamber of Commerce's, they have what they call their own leads groups. So you can join a Chamber of Commerce and they have a networking event. It's open to all the people in the chamber.
Right. Right.
Then some of them, also have their leads group where one profession of its type. And there's a lot of other different smaller groups that do something similar.
I was in a chamber back when I was in Alabama, and it was exactly that. It was a community where everybody's trying to help each other's business. There was obviously some competition, a little competition, but it seemed like everybody in the chamber was really just trying to, how can I help your business grow? And I really like that aspect of it for sure.
Right. And that's what the chambers do. But then a lot of people who are in closed networking groups understand that by building a relationship with a particular profession, that your referral partner can help jumpstart it. If you jump in a room where there's like 3 electricians, you got some competition there.
Yeah.
Instead of building a relationship with maybe one guy.
Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I never heard that closed networking groups. I hadn't heard that term.
Yep. If you look, BNI being a lot, they're the largest. They only have 300,000 members, but they're in 77 countries around the world.
Well, I think too, I've seen, this is a trend I've seen is we're going online more every day. I mean, you're seeing, I think I saw a study where the amount of like college education is going down, but online education is actually going up. And I think more people are just realizing, adapting that, this technology thing's not going away. Like if we connect in person, but I think people are going to get even more accustomed to connecting online. You're seeing it with LinkedIn. You're seeing it with, when I saw that trend, I think it was online education markets increased by 20% a year, and college was decreasing by like a couple percent a year. And eventually, it's very obviously not even close right now, but one day online education might actually surpass college. And I think that in online education, it's such a big shift, and I think that's interesting. Kind of your perspective of coming in the fact that people want to help each other, but they're fine with doing it online rather than the Chamber of Commerce was an in-person type of ordeal. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm. And even online, if we can meet face to face online, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Some people need to be more local to grow their business.
Sure.
As opposed to, some people, they can be all over.
Yeah.
And so those are our 2 main competitors, CRMs, closed networking groups.
Interesting. Okay. I'll say this. One thing I didn't mention is I think it would be really good, and we identified this in the problem, kind of what is the problem. I think what would be just kind of idea to throw at you is a brand promise. These are actually very common. So my background is the service industry.
Mm-hmm.
Brand promises, let's say, I think it was Domino's back in the day. It's like 30 minutes or it's free. Was it Domino's? Domino's.
I think it was Pizza Hut.
It may have been
No, it was no Domino's.
Domino's. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a brand promise. And
Mm-hmm.
I think you could really utilize a brand promise. I'll give you my startup, House Pro, the one we've talked about a little bit, because I'm raising money as well. I'm in this game, guys. You think
Right.
I'm out here just telling? I'm in this as well with y'all. So it's not just we're not just talking about it, we're doing it as well. But my brand promise was 24, 48 hours service delivered, and that was it's almost like a tagline under your main. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it would kind of be good for you is maybe a short and sweet brand tag. And I
Mm-hmm.
especially think like Google doesn't have a brand tag. Everybody knows what Google's about. But
Right.
when I see follow up, maybe just have a quick summary. The AI bot that streamlines your time, or just something that you see what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
associates follow up with what you're doing, maybe.
What we do have for follow up now, I do have a tagline on the bottom that says the next day, every time.
I did see that actually. I did
Yeah.
actually see that. Yeah.
Because most people do not follow up the next day,
Yeah.
every time.
Well, this is what I would say with that. Just include it everywhere. Like you're marketing your ads because it's just another way where people kind of, what is that about? Because you know
Mm-hmm.
what it's about because you've been working on it. But just kind of remind people that's what I would do for like marketing. Maybe a good way. I think especially in startup mode, you just need to hit them with quick summary of who you are, and they'll see you and just remember it. I don't know. Follow up is a pretty easy name. I mean, you know what you're doing, but it doesn't hurt. I don't think it hurts.
Right.
You know, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it hurts.
It's on my badge. I mean, I have a name badge. I don't write up no name badge when I go to a network. I have my own name badge.
Mm-hmm.
And it says follow up now. And right under it says the next day, every time.
All right, I like it. I like it, man. I like it. You're on it, dude. I'm telling you, you're on it. Well, this is the thing. I think with you've with the IT, with your experience, with where you've been. I think you're on a really good path, man. I think that, like I said, I've almost leaped before I've learned, and you seem like you learn and you're very analytical before you kind of jump, and that's really good, man. It's really good. I think just you got to continue to just keep that ball rolling.
Right. And I would say you jump because you're not
Yeah.
going to learn. I mean, the things that I've learned about building relationships, that's, that I just learned being in business. But when I learned that I could actually build an app and a company,
Yeah.
I took action.
Yeah.
I started connecting and somebody would give me some information and then I would do it.
Mm.
And people had told me like, dude, you took action. Yeah. So people out there, don't sit back. Oh, what
Yeah.
do I do? Should I take action?
Yeah, because you have no idea what you're doing. Like to say that, like when I raised money last year, I had no idea. I got lucky. There is a lot of luck in entrepreneurship, but the more you put yourself out there, the luckier you get, right?
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So just take some action, and then you can always go back and look. Nobody's dying here. Nobody's
Yeah.
dying. Take some action and figure it out, and then you put yourself out there to get those resources, so that now as you start moving up the ranks, you're not making dumb mistakes or
That's right.
dumb actions. You're
That's right.
making actions based on information that you have.
That's right. I agree. I'm with you. All right, let's go to number 4 or number 5, market potential. You actually have some slides on this. I've seen your deck. So just talk about kind of what the market potential is for this app. Where do you see the market?
So actually the other day at a pitch at an event I was at, this young lady had on her slide 165 million professionals in the United States. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So really, I need to call her up and get that, because any professional, I need a network.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our total addressable market.
Okay.
165 million. There's 120 million US professionals on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Right?
I didn't know that. That's a lot.
Yeah. And so I've only spoke about the US.
Sure.
I didn't even talk about outside yet, because that's just great.
We'll get there. We'll get
Right.
there.
Right.
Bro, we'll get there. Yeah.
So there is about 30 million professionals that attend networking events for their business.
Hmm.
That's our main target that we're going out.
I got you.
Some people, they don't go out to networking events.
Yeah.
They may have a job, they do their job, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's not our target. We want those people who go online, they go to networking events, and they go to talk to people.
Hmm.
So about 30 million of them attend events each year.
Got it.
The market is huge.
Is there opportunity to, because you mentioned you have 120 million professionals, you mentioned 30 million, about 30 million go to conferences, which is interesting, but is there a chance to segue, is just your niche focus right now to target those people, and then one day it will be able to work even if you don't? Like, for example, let's say you don't go to a conference, but you have a LinkedIn and someone connects with you and you have a conversation. What could potentially in the future it could get where you could message that would, I could still go to your website, sign up the app, and do the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If you are bottom line is, if you're a professional,
Yeah.
how are you doing business? Even if you work for somebody, you're not going to work at that company forever.
Mm.
So how are you going to get that next opportunity? How are you going to get that next job? How are you even thinking of going out on your own?
Mm.
Unless you have people around you that can provide those resources.
The next job is huge. I mean, that a lot is who you know, just to get in the door,
Exactly.
huge.
Even the first one,
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing a talk tomorrow, a bunch of young people. Hey, if you're in college, start building your network now.
Yeah.
So now you know who to reach out to when you want to get that first gig.
Yeah.
Things are getting tighter and they're getting harder.
Yeah.
And it's always who you know.
Well, it's also, I agree, because I mean, people go, well, that's not true. Well, I mean, I'll see even on LinkedIn. I saw this guy I follow. Google, he hires for Google. He works in Google. He hires, and he said every single resume, A plus, checked every box. 4.3. I don't even know how high you can get. And he's like, it's all the same. Like he's like, it's to stand out. You really have to go above and beyond. Whether that's reaching out through trying to get a phone call or a conversation, like. It's more, I think on the job end, it's more than just your credentials now. It's like you really have to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And so to kind of segue that, it's who you know. I mean, ultimately, if it's great that you have these credentials, but still getting that foot in the door, sometimes it's your network. And I was recently in college. I wasn't even thinking about the networking thing early. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yes. And
So,
this is your network.
yeah.
No matter where you go to school, no matter where you work, they're going to have their own CRM, but this is going to be your network that you can continue to maintain and then monetize.
I think that's interesting, because that's honestly two different market segmentations. I mean, one, you're targeting business professionals trying to connect after, but I think there's a whole other division of that where you can market towards people who are looking for jobs. Like, you've met all these people the last year. Have you followed up with them? Have you reached out to them?
Right.
That's a whole nother, not a separate company, but almost like a separate whole marketing plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing, yeah. So the job thing might be the second. The main thing is this is your focus, but
Right.
you've got so many options.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
you mentioned conferences,
Yeah.
but I'm not even talking about conferences. I'm talking about just regular networking events, which is like the small, but like a lot of people in the service industry, so they'll go to networking events.
Yeah. Like lunch and learns or yeah.
Exactly. But we also have conferences.
Yeah.
Where now you can start connecting. So I get hooked in with one of these big conferences, and we're the tool for the conference that people can now use after the conference. Because most of the ones, after you use the app, after the conference.
Also, you forget. I mean, you're meeting so many people at these events, you forgot, everything. So you're saying that database, though, is going to kind of store all those questionnaires?
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And will continue. It's going to continue asking questions. That's what we can use the AI about.
Got you. And so I'm guessing it's not like a spam of questions. Is it like a slow, like over the course of like a couple of weeks, just ask a question or two?
Yes.
That's perfect.
So you can put in what you might be looking for, but one question is like, what's your hobby? And somebody will answer, it's music. Well, what kind of music?
Yeah.
What if there's a concert going on and you know that one of your clients loves this kind of music, and then you got some tickets, and now you can invite that client to this particular music type event to kind of strengthen that bond.
Interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting, Wally. I think the biggest thing is just because I'm devil's advocate here, right? I'm playing both
Mhm.
sides. Just not to have maybe too many questions because I can see like because it's still AI. So maybe space it. I think if you space it out though, you could got some kind of I'm
Oh,
sure y'all work on that, but
mhm.
somehow like maybe you've learned that every 7-8 days it's great to send a longer question or something like that.
Right.
Um, I can see
Yeah.
that. I can see
Yeah.
that. Spacing it out.
And that's how you engage
That's right.
the people in your network to get more. Hey, if you want me to help you,
Uh huh.
answer the question.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not doing it to sell.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to see how I can connect you. Because now, if you give me some more information, I might send you an invite. Hey, this is going on next week. You might want to check this out.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
I know. I mean, even I'll give you example like Wally. When you sent me, hey, here's another company that's similar to what you're doing. You know how helpful that was for me because
Wow.
I can check that out and be like, wow, that's something I didn't think about. You sent that to me on LinkedIn. Remember a couple weeks ago, a
Yeah,
week or so
exactly.
ago. That helped me. But imagine if it was your app that sent that, and it was like, here's or it wouldn't be able to send that, but just the fact that like maybe you took information, this is kind of my company, and you remember that, and then you can follow up with, hey, here's the link to this. And that was super helpful for me,
Right.
you know?
Because it's the mindset. I mean, yeah, we can use the AI to do some of that, but you still can do that in person.
Yeah.
I have you in my network now.
Yeah.
I know what you do, right? Because I've asked you.
Mm,
And if I see something, oh, AC, check this out.
yeah. I
And
think what
now
you're,
we're here.
I think what you're bringing to the table, Wally, I think if you can master it, because it's what you're building is special. If you can get it, because it's really, I mean, this is you're going for a big home run. Is almost elevating the next step of social media. Where when I see Wally, I see what your business background is. I see who you are a little bit like that. But if I can know like your hobbies and your interests and like specific things, but I'm building it internally on a network on an app, and I go, wait a second, I have tickets to a so and so concert here. Maybe I could even search my database concerts in Texas or whatever, and I see that one of my contact or connects lives in Texas and they want to go to a concert.
Right?
That would be really cool.
That would be freaking awesome.
That would be really cool. I would definitely want the app.
And then
Definitely.
you can add other vendors. That's just another way to get paid. Whether it's local vendors, keep it local.
Hmm.
I know you like Greek food or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Hey, there's a Greek restaurant that's local. How about getting a couple of people that like Greek food just like you and get 5 or 6 people and have a little get together networking event? You guys are all in the same space.
Yeah.
You like Greek food, you go, you chill out for a couple hours, and you try to
Now,
build
would
some.
that be a recommendation in the app that like you would get a notification from maybe a couple that this is all your interest, something like that, maybe?
Yeah, yeah. And that's what we can use AI. AI is so great
Yeah.
at gathering information
Hmm.
and then connecting it together, uh, and then making those kind of recommendations, on the fly.
Yeah.
If it's hooked into my calendar and I see an event that I'm going to, well, now automatically it's just, okay, who's in your network that this might benefit,
Mm.
and then like, hey, while he's going here,
Yeah,
um,
just like a little notification. Yeah.
yeah, hey, you show up if you want or not.
Hmm.
I'm selling.
I actually think it's a lot better way of using AI. You're seeing which Amazon, you see Facebook just implemented this. LinkedIn has too, where it's like it has a post. It's like ask what
Yeah,
to ask,
right.
and I think that's a good. I mean, again, it's helpful. The Facebook one, in my opinion, is not very good yet. It's just like ask kind of meta what you're looking for. It just feels like an advanced search, but I like the use of AI in that way. I think you're actually creating additional value where it actually, I don't know, under a LinkedIn post, just tell me what to ask. Like, I
Yeah. Or
just,
it's like, what is this about? Or
yeah,
why would this be good?
like if I wanted to know that, I would, like, I don't know. I just don't, it almost feels like filler questions or,
Mhm.
but
Right.
I really like the use of it to kind of build on top of the social network aspect. I think
Hmm.
that's a lot. my opinion, a lot better use of AI that I haven't really, because I'll be honest, the AI train, it's not that I'm not sold on it. I know it's the future. It's just the fact that like Google's been AI for years. I mean, it can predict your search. So we've known that. Google's been AI engine. It just didn't have the buzzword, right?
Right.
But this is a way that the way you're talking about AI using is a new way that it becomes more of a functional aspect rather than just like a accessory, I guess you could say.
Right. And to help, to help bring people together to be able to do business.
It's interesting. I like it. I really do. All right, so we're going to move on. We actually talked way too much on that one, but we get excited. We get off track. So number 6, ideal customer profile. So you've touched on this. So if you had to pick one right now in this early stage, what is the ideal customer for you?
Right. That would be professionals who attend business networking events for business. It would probably be micro businesses with less than 10 employees. Because when you're that small, you're your own sales and marketing person.
That's right.
So you get out there and you got a network.
That's short and sweet. I like that you included the company size too. That's what I was going to ask next is what company size you're targeting. So the micro is kind of the small business owners first.
Right.
Because you want to almost target the person that's going to be most beneficial to first. Get them to get those feedback, get those customer reviews, get them to be like, wow, I love this. Then you can start introducing other aspects of the market. And it's going to be valuable for them too, but you want a huge value expectation when you first start it, when you first launch it.
Exactly.
Like it. Okay. Now, revenue model, right? Saw a little bit about this. What is the revenue model right now? Like what do you envision on, how are we going to charge? Are we subscription, 3-tier subscriptions? What are we looking at? 30-day free trial?
Yes. So subscription-based model.
Okay.
We have a couple of different modules that we want to roll out. The first module is the follow-up the next day, or I would say the build and maintain your network module. $9.99 a month. That when you connect, start that follow-up.
And what does that include?
That's going to include when you connect with somebody, they're going to get a follow-up message the next day, every time. And that's when we can start using AI to start asking those questions.
Okay. All right. What's the next package for us?
And then we're going to have what we call the monetization platform.
Okay.
That's where now you can get paid for the referrals that you make to the people in your network.
Okay. Walk me through this.
Okay. So most people have a referral program or an affiliate program.
Sure.
Hey, you send me a client, it's 10%, it's 5%. I'll send you a $25 gift card.
Okay.
Now we have a platform that people can set whatever it is. So now once I know who you are and I have an opportunity, I can go and say, hey, AC, here's a referral. Please take care of these people. And then be like, hey, it's a $25 gift card. It can be as simple as that. You make 2 referrals a month, the app is paid for itself.
So who is the person, would the person receiving the referral, they would set, I guess, in the price for the monetization? Because are you guys doing that? Because
no, it would be, I would say, hey, AC, do you have a referral program? Like, yeah, 5% of the job. Okay, great. So these are the questions that I'm asking you when I meet you.
Okay.
I want to know who's your ideal client, referral partners.
Sure.
Who you looking to meet? Do you have a referral program? Like, yeah. Okay, great. Now, if I can send you a referral, then you'll send me, and I'm the one with the app. You're not necessarily on the app. You're just in my network.
Sure.
But I want to help you. And if I can get you some business, then you'll pay something.
Right.
All right. And hopefully, if we're already doing business with each other, the app will pay for itself. $49.99 a month for the monetization platform.
Got you. So what your app does, so if I didn't have the app, you have the app, then the $49.99 includes the monetization, where on top of, let's say, doing a follow-up message, it'll, I'm guessing, pull the data from, because I'm still trying to grasp my head around, it's going to what is your app doing that's worth the 49? I get the aspect of the referral fee. I get how that pays for itself, but what feature do you add to the app that makes it a month? I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Right. So I have other people in my network, right? So I'm always trying to find out how I can help people in my network.
Okay.
So I'm the connector. So, hey, if you need something, you let me know. I've got a network. Hey, I'm having a problem with you can maybe put in I'm having AC problems. Oh, an AC guy. Can I connect you to? Right?
Yeah.
As I'm out networking, as I normally do, I'm dealing with my own customers. You want to be that go-to person. You want to be able to help them. If you can help them outside of what you're trying to sell them, oh yeah, I know somebody. They're in my network.
I got you. And so rather than you're making money from your own business, you're still making money through the referral, and you're increasing when you're doing that for free. You're kind of giving extra value that like, wow, this guy really helped me. So it's a twofold win. You're saying.
Yes, exactly. And that's one of the things we learned in the closed networking group. It's not just about selling. It's about being of value to your customers. Because depending on where you are, you need these people around you, different other professions.
Yeah.
It's natural. You know, if you're in real estate and you're a realtor, you need an AC, you need a home inspector, mortgage broker,
absolutely,
repair, pest control, the whole nine.
Right.
But now you know these people, you know them, you like them, you trust them, you're referring business. It's what we do all the time.
It's true. You just don't get paid for it.
Exactly. Now you're going to get a few bucks, and it's okay if it's a smaller business and it's a $25 gift card.
Yeah.
You can rack up with a lot of $25 gift cards.
I agree. I think that the implementation of that is going to be not tricky. I just think I like it because typically, like I said, you're referring anyway. And so to have the platform kind of know that and then connect it to professional or connect, even if you're not directly benefiting this person, it's not about that. Your platform is building that relationship where, even though it's $49.99, maybe you could get a little bit back from that, but ultimately maybe they'll do more business with you in the future.
Exactly. You're the connector.
That's right.
Right.
You're the guy. You're the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the gal, right?
Yeah, or the gal. So are you saying that is it going to be almost like, is it going to show publicly like a network count, maybe kind of like LinkedIn or any, like shows like a follower count? Is it going to say I have 2,000 people in my.
I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to show how many people you have. Of course, we're going to cap the individual user at 150.
150.
Yes. 150 is called the Dunbar's number. Okay. That's the maximum number of people you can effectively manage in your network.
I've actually heard of this. I've heard about this. Yeah.
Okay. So you go on LinkedIn right now. Actually, somebody did this to me the other day. These people, they reached out to me and they says, hey, we have a referral opportunity for you. I'm like, okay, what you got? Can you introduce us to Travis Mack? I'm first connection with Travis. So this other company, their first connection is with me, and they see that I know Travis, and they want to meet Travis. I met Travis a year ago. Haven't really engaged with him, haven't talked to him. I'm not going to make that connection.
Sure.
But that's what LinkedIn is trying to do. That's called the second connection trick. Right.
Yeah. Well, I think LinkedIn did that because they were trying to grow, and they were just like, it went from kind of that localized feel to more, let's just show how many, connects. Because it is capped, but it's like, what, 20,000 or something?
Yeah, but
something
who knows? I met the guy a year ago. Right.
Right.
So I don't feel comfortable making that kind of connection.
Sure.
And I barely knew the people who I was first connections with.
Right. Yeah.
But if I bring somebody to you, if you say, hey, Wally, introduce me to somebody that I've met and I know, okay, I know you, I know them, let's make the connection.
So it's two-sided coin. I love it because I think that if you do refer this person, well, there's only 150 every person can do. So obviously you really trust this person. So it does provide that. But do you think there's any possibility that could hindrance maybe growth of the platform because there's not enough firms, or do you think 150 will be more than enough?
Well, because if you like what I'm doing, yo, AC, you want to build your own network?
Yeah.
Okay, get the app. And now you're up to 150. So two of us, we got 300 people in our network, right?
True.
And then those people in your network, they can grow theirs out. Everybody can grow their out. So it really just it's going to multiply.
Yeah, it'd be 150 times 150 would be, I think, your cap. But that's a lot of people.
Right.
Ton of
That's
people.
a lot of people to manage.
Yeah.
But you can really take advantage of having a network of 150 people that you know, because we can use AI to do a lot of that maintaining, that monitoring.
Sure.
So
And you can always and you can always remove people from the network too, which is like if it just kind of in that 140 to it's kind of you can always sub people in, I'm guessing, right? It's not like set. You can always
So like we'll say and it's really we want to base it on an algorithm of engagement. You're not going to engage the same with all 150 people.
Sure, of course.
You're going to have your tight group,
Yep.
and it's going to go down. So maybe when you get to 151, well, the last person that you didn't really engage with, you'll drop them off the list.
Yeah.
Stay at 150.
I like it. I like you've thought this out. I mean, this is you can tell that this has been a while you've been thinking about this, because I'm trying to hit you with everything I can think of.
Yeah, come on.
Oh man, I'm trying, guys. Audience, do you have any questions? Am I missing anything here? Come on. They'll comment in the video. You should ask this. Maybe we'll get some people watching. But all right, so number 8, we're gonna do evidence of success. So and I think evidence of success is one of the most important when raising. It is customer reviews. It's people who you've talked to that's giving you feedback. Evidence of success, I think that when you have customers, it can be huge. I even think that with you talking to all these people, just writing down customer testimonials, even asking a really close connect to maybe record a short testimony of using it. Obviously, we're early, right? We don't have testimonials, but I think if you could get some review collection, I also think with that wait list, like I said, even if you have 25 people on the wait list, I know you're like, oh, this isn't enough, but the investor just wants to see something. They want to see some kind of results, and 95% of the pitch decks are getting, especially pre-seed, have none of that. So if you have that, I think especially right there stuck in the middle, it's going to be huge for from the investor side of showcasing this is what I have. Even if it's 25 people, you need to show that.
And so that's probably the next thing I'll put on my traction slide, because I do have people signing up on the waiting list.
Sure.
The other thing I have is when somebody told me, like, dude, you have a proof of concept. I have a proof of concept.
Yeah.
And it's on the slide, and it's the people that I've connected to, who I've followed up with, who I've asked the questions, and they've returned the answers.
Yeah. That's huge. That's what I'm saying. And like, you kind of have, because what you're trying to build for your hackathon is what you called it, is the beta version of the app for anybody. But you're personally using, I'm guessing, like a back end system just right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
I would tell you this too, Wally, when you start pitching, is if you could even maybe show them, just like, you don't have to show them everything, but maybe just show them quickly how it works. I think that could be huge too,
Well, once I get my wireframes, I can start adding that into.
Yeah.
I've been held back by the technology.
Sure.
I'm far ahead of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, Wally. I got some critiques for you towards the end. I think you're asking for too little, truthfully, to raise. And I'll explain why. I got reasons why. But I think you're a little low, actually, on the asking end, truthfully. Okay. But I'll go into why I think that. Maybe you disagree. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been waffling both ways.
Yeah. I'll explain kind of a model I think is good, and you can put your own comments on it. We'll get there. But kind of a good base on the raise. But let's do forecasting. So forecasting is really important. I think I mentioned to Ron about this forecasting slide. And what you do is investors typically, just the research I've done, the ones I've talked to, they like kind of a 3-year timeline. In 3 years, are we going to, exit? Is your plan to exit? Or are you plan to maybe take the next level and raise a series A, B, C, D, whatever? They just want to know some way, like you said, what's it for them? When are they getting their money back? They want you to have a plan of, in 3 years' time, am I going to have an opportunity to exit if this is successful? Or are you never going to entertain that? What is your kind of goal there? So I think a 3-year forecasting is great for investors. This part isn't fantastic for you because what did we talk about? The moment 2 months later, it's going to be completely different.
Right.
Completely different. And technology companies are not linear. They're a parabolic curve. We know that. But I still think just for the investor side to showcase, all right, our forecasting is that we estimate the average cost is going to be $10 for our base level model. We think after, year 1, we're going to have 1,000 users, year 2, 5,000, year 3, 10,000, and even potentially show a monetary amount of what that would be. So in our estimations of $10 for 1,000, this is what we have. In our estimation that year 2, we're going to start really selling people on monetization platform. Our average cost is now going to be about $20 per customer because now we're getting those big customers. And now $20 at $5,000 is this. What forecasting does is investor just wants to know, okay, this isn't a $5 product or a $1 product that I'm going to make even if they're successful, there's no money in it for the company.
Right. Exactly.
I think even showing any kind of numbers is good because they go, okay, this is a $50 product. You're going to sell, we believe we're going to do $10,000. This is, $2 or $3 million a month, a year, whatever. Okay, this has really big potential, And even including potential, this is something to think about. I know those are the only 2 ways right now you make money, but even maybe if you can think of one extra way the app could make money, maybe you could introduce an ad. I know this, you gotta be careful, but and I know from your side, I don't want to do that, but the investor wants to see that you're thinking of other ways to make money. Because what do they, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean,
because that's,
and as I've been going through this, people have been dropping, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I got that one.
Yeah.
Like whether it's, like we said, we start with the small businesses, and then we have trade shows, and we have conferences, and we have local vendors who want to, hey, $1,000 a year to be the preferred meeting joint in your city. All right. So we got revenue there, and the referral fees.
Yeah.
We got to process it. We make the platform.
That's right.
Pass a referral, 2%, 3%.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I agree. And I think, well, like I said, that's something that you're not going to focus on early, but the investor wants to see that you're thinking of other revenue slots. So I would include that. I would add that as saying, 90% of our revenue is going to come from our base subscriptions, but in the future, this 10%, 15, 20%, we are thinking of, and just even include a couple, like you said, and you don't have to do it, man. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm just saying, let them know that you are thinking of ways to make you guys money,
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And we do talk about 5-year, getting to 1 million users in 5 years.
Okay.
But that's based on just getting out there and getting in front of, our go-to-market strategy.
Yeah, that's good. Like I said, I would do, and again, I'll send you my deck, what I've done to base it. And again, you don't have to use anything from it, but just to give you a reference of what I've done in the past, what I've learned from raising money, what I'm working with, even Ryan right now in Discord, me and him are working together. But I think, like I said, a 3-year plan is typically what investors like to see just from the knowledge I'm given. You can do the 5 years, but I was based out maybe 1, 3, and 5 years. Just have like a range for them to gauge.
Right.
Because again, that comes back to, what's in it for them when they're going to make their money back. Okay, so that's it for forecasting. Number 10 we got is a roadmap. So you got a roadmap, and I'll say this about the roadmap. I think you need to get even more detailed. Like, I really think your roadmap, and again, I'll send you what I like to look at. I would even plan, I usually do a 3-year roadmap, and I have about 8 points, and I'll show you I'll send this after, but January 2024, June 2024, we want to release app, we want to have 50 people on the wait list, and then you can even get to January of 2025, app released, up to 10,000 users, Series A funding potential. If you even include that under as one of the points, they're like, oh, he's thinking about raising, he's planning, he knows when the money's going to run out. Because the biggest problem, and I actually face this myself, I didn't raise enough money. And one of the biggest reasons companies fail, sometimes you have a great idea, sometimes you're going on the right path, you don't raise enough money. And you don't plan out, oh shoot, we're 3 months from where our Series A should be, we're running out in 5 months, but we're hoping people do it, Right. You can't hope. An investor would rather you plan this out and say, we know in a year from now, we're going to be out of money. Even if we have users, that's great, but we're planning on raising a Series A. even if we're not making a ton of money, because the worst thing they want you to do is the company fail because you didn't plan financial track, you know?
Okay.
So I would include, and that's why I really think that what you're looking to raise too is just a little low, just because of like that forecasting. Because I did the same thing,
Right.
but I would say adding that Series A, and then even 7-8 months from then we want to expand into the New York City markets, the really cost intensive markets. Then you're planning that's in Series B, and give your investor a timeline. I typically like to do the pre-seed round, the Series A, and then by year 3, you're looking at that Series B. That's typically a really good path.
Okay.
And then maybe the exit. The Series B is the exit round, or maybe the end of Series A. And just the investor knows, wow, this guy's really forecasting accurately. He knows what things are going to cost. He's not like, oh, I hope, like I said, I hope all in the world you're crushing it. You're getting all these subscriptions. But reality is Uber didn't turn a profit for 10 years.
I know.
I know,
I saw that show. I was like,
Mhm.
which still freaks me out
Yeah,
that because these are not regular companies.
that's right.
You can't run your service-based company and not turn a profit in 10 years.
That's right. But that show. Did you watch the documentary? Or did you watch the entertaining one?
The entertaining one.
The entertaining one, yeah. That's the one I watched too. That one
Yeah.
was,
Like, really? Like,
yeah.
how you run a business and you're not making any money?
That's right.
I did not understand that.
And
And
that
still,
what
yeah,
that was too is that, and again, his personality was wow.
yeah,
Wow. But he was good at, he knew how important the idea was. And what he did really good is he had people around him, especially that were like, he got that angel investor early, that VC, and
yeah,
that VC led him to help raise in the future. And I'll mention this too, Wally. This is something you can think about. It's something you can do. For my startup, am going to be building a board of directors, people that have been in the space, helping me raise. I would consider, now again, what board of directors comes with, and obviously is going to be people, you can bounce ideas off, but I would even recommend people that are maybe AI experts, or people that are service professional experts that have all these.
on the raising side. So, and that's the thing about when you have a lot of people in your ear. Well, in a good way, because like I said, everybody's there to help.
Yeah.
So before I had probably around 50 grand, and then somebody says, "Man, that's not enough." I said, "All right, 250," but they didn't really explain
Yeah.
why it wasn't enough.
That's right.
So now I was in another program, and they were talking about, okay, 18 months. I didn't know really about the raising. 18 months. That's your runway.
Sure.
So I changed the slide to 250, and that could actually get me 12 to 16 months.
Yeah.
So I can ask for 250, and I can say, hey, this is going to get me 12 to 16 months.
Yeah.
Before I have to raise again.
That's,
and then I'm talking to another person, and they says, well, how much do you need to get to this next step?
can you tell no one really knows? We're all
Right. I mean, everybody, so it's like, who am I in front of?
Yeah.
So like I said, another guy says, well, what do you need to get to this next step?
Yeah.
Well, really right now, 50 grand will get me a ways. It's not an 18-month runway.
Yeah.
It might be more like a 6-month runway.
Yeah. Well, again, the runway is important too with that number. The reason why I like to do the percentage and then timeline wise, because you can, based on your roadmap, pick when that Series A is going to be. So even with the 100 grand raise, if it's not the 250 for the 18th, the set fee you have to do, what I think is in smart as an investor, in my opinion, what I would want to see as an investor, and what I've talked to and done research, is that most of the money being going towards distribution, an investor likes to see that because they know that, like, you understand that getting the product out there is the most important thing if you have a baseline product. And in my opinion, having most of your money go to that is smart. Now, roadmap wise, if you go, well, 100 grand can get me 9 months, 10 months, whatever, include that in your roadmap. And that's why I told you it was so important to do, January of 2025 Series A funding round. And you're aware that the 100 grand is going to get you there. Most of it's going to go to distribution, and then you do the exact same thing. How much more do we need to build the next version of our product? What's 75% more of that? and then what's the runway on that? In my opinion, it's a very easy way where you're pulling it out of nowhere. On the pre-seed side, this actually helps you, kind of a formula I've come up with where I think it's really easy to do it. Again, I'm just a guy on the internet, so could be completely wrong, but like I said, that's what I've concluded.
Right.
So,
It really depends a lot of times who you're in front of.
sure.
Because I know once I start getting some type of concrete data, now I can extrapolate that.
That's right.
And I can really.
But the problem is we have no data right now.
Right.
I mean, so we're kind of pulling it out of,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't really like doing that because you can't defend it.
I felt uncomfortable too. Like, but those even projections, like when you go for your forecasting, you're gonna feel uncomfortable doing it. You're gonna be like, I don't know if this is true or not. And I felt the same way morally, but investor just wants to see something. You got to show them something. But I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Okay, and then number 13 is you have the slot is the founder, team background, and relevant experience. I think this is super huge. Typically, I think one of the best. I think I saw that one of some of the most successful businesses have an actual background in the field they're making a business out of. So they're in the. I'll give you an example. Ryan was a good example last episode. He was in the construction space. He worked in the construction space 10 years. He saw a problem in the construction space, and now he's building a business out of the construction space. Investors feel most comfortable doing founders like that because they know it better than anybody. So for you, do you think that background experience is going to be enough to kind of be like, this is how I've been to enough professional events? Do you think that's for you going to be your
absolutely? I mean, if any investor just goes on my LinkedIn, you're like, okay, he knows networking.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I think that's huge. And then your the background too. I don't know if you had made the background of some of your team. I saw you got two kind of guys. I think it'd be good to include their background as well.
Okay.
Good background about them. Because what I did was, again, I gave, one of my deck, I'm doing my background, but also like my software engineers. Well, this is super important too, Wally. There's tons of types of software engineers, software developers. And I saw you kind of got a technical guy. It would be really good to specify what he's good at. Because like my team, for example, really good at app development, good at ERP systems as well. That's important because if you're building an app and they specialize in app development, that's relevant to the conversation. But if their background is back in Python and it's like you're building a front end, it's like, well, is that really, does it, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
I would just include, I think any details that would help you would be great. And if there's none that, just don't include it. Don't include it because you don't want to hurt yourself. Don't do that.
You should. My first team slide, which is me. And I had a picture of the Avengers scene from the first one.
Oh, man.
That was my team slide. Mm-hmm. It was just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a progression.
That's right. We're getting better. Right. Yeah. So it's work in progress, guys. It's a work in progress.
The traction slide is getting better. Team slide is getting better.
That's right.
And those are the ones that people say you need to, that's what's going to drive the investment.
Yeah.
So I'm working with two other people to finish out those pieces. So these guys might come in on the slide, as advisors or part of the technical team to finish building out that piece.
Yeah. I think that's good. Like I said, I think including that's super important. I also think too, because while you're probably, you're learning this, I've learned it. A lot of people are going to want to jump on board with you. A lot of people, it's like, who are your friends are? You have a lot of people now coming like, oh, I can help you in this. Well, that's awesome. They can help you, but are they a partner? Are they really someone you want to be in business for? Really, I mean, it's kind of like a marriage. Sure. I mean, it's absolutely, it's a marriage, like, would you do life with this person? And if the answer is, again, I'll recommend the opposite background, but if the answer is no, or like you already have someone like that, they don't need to be a partner. You need to contract them out. You need to find someone else. Something I made a mistake of as well. I took people that at one point maybe should have been contractors and I partnered with them. And, it's just, it's learning experience,
Right.
It's learning experience.
And I think the biggest thing that helped me was getting into it was actually called an ideation program early on, where we went over a lot of these different things.
Cool.
What you needed, who you need to talk to, who might be on the team. And then an incubator program after that, where they expanded on that. So that gave me a lot of the tools that I'm now using.
That's awesome.
So even though I started going to school right away.
Yeah.
Started learning right away what I needed and brought it forward.
Yeah.
So that was huge, because that's the resources I had here in South Florida.
That's right. I mean, I'm hoping too, Wally, I'm really hoping this to kind of tie it back to the podcast and what we're doing here. I hope all these conversations, if you're watching out there, we're giving you some free, kind of that stuff that we wish we would have known. You know what I mean? Like we wish we would have done.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the ideation program and the incubator program they were both free.
That's awesome.
It was through a university. They had a whole innovation center.
That's awesome.
And it was awesome. And I didn't know it was free. And the guy who I went to my first hackathon, who was sitting next to me, and I told him about this idea, and he said, "That's a good idea. You need to go to the Levant Center. They might be able to help you out." He's guy number 2. His name is Kevin Robinson. Guy number 2. Because he directed me to that place to get this started.
Well, same thing. I mean, when I first got my software engineer, I went to the head of my department at university, and I said, "I need your smartest engineer." And I met with them. That's what I did, And from that, I met these bankers. My bankers led me to the incubator down in our local area. I also got plugged into an incubator. And also an incubator, just some advice out there, guys. It's one of the most affordable places for rent. If you can get in the incubator, like we were paying like 25% of what commercial prices were downtown. So I didn't have to raise as much too. We could have an office space. There's some really good incubators. I definitely look into it if you're out there, searching for that. Incubators are great.
Mine was free. It was 20 minutes away from the house. It was like a couple of days a week. I put my time, changed my schedule so I could get there and get the information. And it was invaluable.
Yeah. And they have incubators, and incubators, they'll do lunch and learns for free. When I went to one, we had even a guy come in that had AI background experience. This was like a year ago. Like like I said, guys, if y'all are out there and you don't even know where to start locally, Google incubators, find a local place. And like you said, I mean, like it's free. I mean, what I did was talk to the director, go to the director, say, "Hey, I'm new here. This is kind of what I want to do. Can you connect with anybody?" What is he going to do? He's going to connect you, and then he's going to say, "You follow up, right?"
Right.
That's right.
Follow up,
You follow up. Come on, man.
And build those relationships.
Now that I'm thinking about too, that maybe you could do that too. Go to the head of incubators and say, "Could you recommend this to your entrepreneurs in your incubator?"
Oh, absolutely.
It's a good partnership opportunity.
That's why I'm here. I want to give back.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody gave to me. So if somebody can pick up something from this, say, but you know what? Take action. Don't sit there and say, "Oh, that seems like do something with it."
Yeah.
Do something with it. Even if
this
it's
is guys, this is your David Goggins section of the podcast.
And I'm not a motivational guy. I'm all about action.
Yeah.
You're not going to do any action. Sorry, we can't dance.
That's right.
Go take some action.
That's right. Gosh,
and that's what I want to help.
We need to clip that and just play it every podcast. We'll do that right. Well, awesome, man. Well, one more. We got a couple more, and then I know we got to go. We've gone really long. I know it's late for you. What I'm going to do is just kind of 2 things I have left. Ideal investor profile. Let's have your kind of the same way with the customer. You need ideal investor profile. I think that's super important.
Yes.
And then a quick timeline to kind of hit our goals. I want to try to create a quick timeline for you. What do you need short term? And then obviously see if I can connect you with a contact.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
All right. And this is something which I love when I network at a tech event where there's investors. I don't go pitching investors when I meet them. Just like you said, who's your investor profile?
Yeah.
Well, I ask them, who do you invest in? What are you investing?
Yeah.
What are you looking for? And I can put that information into my database.
That's right.
So now if I know another founder that would be a better fit, I can make a connection.
Yeah. And I'm,
And if they answer the questions
mm,
to make me say, oh, hey, you know what? We might be a good fit because I'm doing this.
right. I think that is all I have for you today.
Wow.
Um,
When are we doing this again, man?
Dude, I
This is
loved it. I want to do a follow up. I want to do a follow up in a couple months
okay.
and see where we're at. I'll say this too. Doing the resource plugs as well. What again? I have a development team that we've done for when we ran my last company. We're out there. What I want to try to build too is like once you get the second, third, round of funding, we do super affordable development. So one thing I learned, one thing I'll tell the audience is a lot of people, if you're trying to develop, U.S. developers are, they're very expensive. And I'm sure you know that.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
expensive, the rates. So I learned in my company when we didn't raise a lot of money, we outsourced overseas and we got really good development. And we have a QA guy that reviews it here in America to make sure the code's high quality, but you can save so much money.
Yes.
So we're Startup Central. This is kind of an announcement. We're building an in-house development team where entrepreneurs that do get funded, we're not going to request before. That'd be irresponsible. Once you get funding, we can actually afford affordable, high-quality development. And also if you're out there and you're looking for it. And that way, I want to be a resource, as much as I can. And the biggest issue is great. Now that I've got money, whatever, but I can't spend 150,000. I just raised 50,000 for development, right? Well, let's do affordable development where we're not making a ton of money, but we're trying to get it out there. So it's just something to plug because I'm just thinking of all these different ways Startup Central could be an asset to these new startup founders, entrepreneurs, and just give them a tool of where, well, I don't know how to get, if I hire someone overseas, it's gonna be crap. Well, we have guys to review that where you don't have to pay hundreds of thousands.
Absolutely. I've been talking to a lot of different software developers. I've gotten quotes and all of this kind of stuff as I've been going along.
Yeah.
They will build what you tell them to build.
That's right.
The one guy who I'm going to go with now, he was able to ask me the questions. What do you need right now? What's the one feature you need to build right now?
Yeah. I like that.
And that's why we decided you want a hackathon version.
Yeah.
Not even an MVP. Hackathon. And that's what founders should be focusing on because they're going to save money. And this company is a huge company. So if they can do this for me, they're going to be able to ride as I go up.
That's right. That's right.
The CTO, he's based here, but the techs are in India.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So I'm getting great prices.
That's the new age. I mean, that's the new age. I mean, I think, before the reason why you saw these crazy software valuations was because US developers were so expensive. And you're seeing a huge shift to where people are raising less, and not because there's less value. It's because the outsourcing of the technology, like you said, we talked about, yours was 45% technical. 10 years ago, that's probably pretty accurate because it was so expensive. But now people are outsourcing from India. They're using quality assurance, people in the States, and you're getting great development at a fifth of the cost. You know what I mean? So you raise a fifth
You
plus.
gotta get the right people on this side.
That's right.
Make sure you get the right people on the other side.
That's right.
Because I've heard horror stories about the other side as well.
No, what was cool was he was my CTO, COO, but he was based in India, and my CTO was based in Georgia. So they would work together, and then we would get really great code at an affordable price. Anyways, just to say that, we're trying to do that for Startup Central within our community because there's going to be some founders who don't really know where to go. I hope that the company does fantastic for you. Wish you all the best, but just something to
But no, let's keep it going, and whatever they need, let's keep it tight.
That's right.
Do what you need to get to the next step. Yeah. And then you go from there.
That's right. Well, I love it, man. Anything else you want to say? Talk about plugging. Where can they find you?
Wow. I would love if you want to build your network. If you're a founder, you need to make connections. Go to my website at followupnows.com. You can get on the waiting list so that I will be able to let you know once that's ready to drop. Find me on LinkedIn to get some ideas on how to grow your network, because we all need a network,
That's right.
Wali Shareef on LinkedIn. Make sure you don't find Wali Shareef II. That's my son. The older guy with the gray hair. That's the one you want. That's the guy who looks like AC over here.
There we go. Hey, listen, I'm gonna eventually get gray hairs. I'm getting stressed out. So,
But find me, reach out to me. I will be in the Discord channel, whatever you need. I was given those blessings and those opportunities, and there's no doubt that I have no other opportunity or no other choice but to give back.
That's right. And brother, we're in this together. Like I said, I'm raising two. I'm learning along the way, and just I put my own pitch deck in there. I want to be challenged, you know.
Wow.
So
and that's it. So let's challenge each other, because it's easier to challenge us now.
Yep.
Instead of those investors, those sharks they'll tear you up.
Yep. That's right. We'll sugarcoat it a little bit. We'll sugarcoat it.
If this is the toughest that you can, we can make it as tough. Then when you go out, it's easy.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, Wally, I really appreciate your time. We're going to do a follow-up in a couple months, so be ready. Get ready. And I'm really excited to do that. I'll include everything in the description when you get your app released. That's what I'm hoping. We can build a community, and when people release their real products, God, we got thousands of people that are seeing it, right? I think that'd be really cool. So anyway, appreciate your time, man. Really enjoyed it. And I will
I really appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And let's go to work.
Let's do it, man. All right. This episode drops Saturday, so check it out.
Oh, okay. Let's go. You got it. All right, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good one, man.
All righty. Take care.